Today, we are trying to make sense of an absolutely wild day in the ongoing conflict between the US and Iran. I mean, within just a few hours, the world went from staring over the edge of a major military escalation to suddenly hearing whispers of a diplomatic breakthrough. It left pretty much everyone scrambling, asking, wait, what is actually going on? So let's dive in and try to decode it.
And we're going to start right at the heart of all the confusion, because we heard two statements from the leaders involved that were, well, complete opposites. First up, from the White House, you had President Trump announcing a 5-day pause on any military strikes against Iran. He said it was because of what he called productive conversations and even suggested a deal to end the whole conflict might be close. But then, almost in the very next breath, you get this from Iran's foreign ministry, a flat-out denial. They said unequivocally that no direct talks like that had happened at all.
So that contradiction left everybody asking the obvious question. Who is telling the truth here? And look, this wasn't just some diplomatic headache. These conflicting headlines sent absolute shockwaves rippling through the entire global economy. So let's look at that immediate, real-world impact. While all the diplomats were scratching their heads, the financial markets just went into a complete tailspin.
You know, the BBC's economics editor Faisal Islam put it perfectly. It's been a wild ride all day. It really was a chaotic roller coaster, with traders and computer algorithms just struggling to figure out how to price the enormous risk of a full-blown war.
To put that in perspective, in the minutes right after President Trump announced these supposed talks, the price of oil just plummeted. We're talking a massive drop of 14%.
But then, as soon as Iran put out its denial, the price whipped right back around, shooting up 10%. I mean, that kind of whiplash is almost unheard of in these markets.
And the chaos didn't stop with oil. It spilled over into natural gas and even into government bonds, the assets that are supposed to be the bedrock of stability. Analysts started warning that this single day of confusion could leave a permanent scar on the world economy.
Okay, so to really understand why the markets went so haywire, we have to solve the diplomatic mystery at the center of it all.
This is the crucial point, right? We have to figure out what's actually going on behind the scenes. How can both sides be telling such completely different stories?
Well, the answer seems to lie in this idea of indirect talks. You see, the United States and Iran don't have formal diplomatic relations. They don't just pick up the phone and call each other. So they often have to rely on these back channels.
And reports are indicating that some friendly nations, countries like Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan, have been acting as go-betweens. They're literally passing messages from Washington to Tehran, trying to de-escalate this crisis. So in a way, communication is happening. It's just not face-to-face. And this slide really gets to the heart of their motivations. President Trump likely wanted to project a sense of optimism to calm down those panicked markets and kind of control the economic story. Iran, on the other hand, is being extremely cautious, and you can see why. After past deals like the 2015 nuclear accord were scrapped by the US, they're deeply skeptical.
But while all this high-level drama unfolds, it is so important to remember that this is not just a war of words. There is a very grim reality on the ground.
Yeah, away from all the headlines about talks, Israel was actually expanding its ground campaign in Lebanon against Hezbollah, which is, of course, the Iran-backed militant group.
So specifically, Israel's war cabinet ordered the military to destroy all the bridges over the Litani River. Now, Israel says the goal here is to cut off weapon supply lines for Hezbollah, but Lebanon's president is warning that this is a dangerous move that will block crucial humanitarian aid from getting to people who need it.
And the human cost of all this? It's already just devastating. In Lebanon alone, more than 1,000 people have been killed and over 1 million have been forced to flee their homes. These numbers are just staggering.
And yet you hear from people on the ground, and amidst all that destruction, there's this powerful, defiant resilience, this absolute determination to return home no matter what obstacles are in the way.
So where does this all leave us? Have we actually pulled back from the brink of a massive war, or is this just a pause in a much larger, much longer conflict?
I mean, this timeline really shows how fast things are moving. Just 48 hours ago, the US was on the verge of launching major airstrikes. Today, that threat is paused, and it's opened this fragile 5-day window for diplomacy to try and work something out.
So when we lay all the evidence out, you can really see that the situation is balanced on a knife's edge. On one hand, yes, the immediate military deadline is gone, and we know those back channels are active. But on the other hand, Iran is officially denying talks, there's a deep history of mistrust, and the actual fighting on the ground is getting worse.
And that leaves us with the final critical question. Is this a genuine opening for peace, or is it just a temporary maneuver to calm the markets before the conflict kicks off again? Right now, the whole world is watching to see what these next few days will bring.